Hey guys, I got finished recording the video you're about to see, and I realized I probably should have prefaced this with a bit of a disclaimer. Whether you are a supporter of Derek Smart or whether you're a hardcore against Derek Smart, there are going to be some things in this video that will probably piss off all of you. But before you start sending in this hateful comments, wait until you finish watching, because I might change your mind, I might not. Or you might end up thinking a little bit differently. Just please bear that in mind. Don't get like 3 or 4 minutes into the video and decide to say, hey, fuck you. Give it an honest give it an honest chance. And then please feel free to let me know what you think. Okay, thanks guys. I love you. Hello there, boys and girls. It's time once again for the guy with a face made for radio, SidAlpha, and I'm coming to you again with something that I didn't think I would have to do for another good long while, and that is another Smart versus Roberts video. I thought we had reached a point where basically everything that was going to be said has been said, and it's one of those things where I honestly thought that everything had been said that needed to be said, and it was one of those things where not much else was going to be happening with this sort of thing, unless there was some form of litigation that came about, or if for some reason Star Citizen happened to fail, and then there would have been a huge shitstorm of stuff. And then I probably would have been a busy boy for a few weeks. But no, we've got a lot of recent activity, and I've actually got a lot of people that were sending me private messages on Twitter telling me, hey, you need to take a look at this shit. And, damn, I was sitting here thinking, all these messages that I've been getting, I wish all these people had fucking subscribed to my channel. That would have been great. But anyway, so we've got a lot of recent activity and a lot of stuff that I think needs talked about, at least discussed, and so you guys can be, keep informed. That's part of the reason why I'm here, is to inform you guys. We've got, there was a recent interview or discussion with Derek Smart on the Open House, which those of you who aren't familiar with, Open House is a YouTube, what appears to be at first glance, I haven't had a chance to actually go through and suss out completely what they do, so guys, if I get it wrong in some way, I'm not going to be overly kind about what I saw, but I'm not going to be overly brutal about it either. It's just how I am. You learn to live with it. But the Open House is, from what I gathered, at least from the video that I saw, is a YouTube stream channel where a large amount of internet personalities with no webcams, they sit around and chat about gaming news and respond to questions from chat and everything like that. And I gather that because the video I watched, they had like a bunch of people it wasn't a Skype call, they were using something else, but it was a video chat platform where nobody was using any cameras whatsoever, so you couldn't see them, and they were sitting there talking and discussing gaming news, and the video is 9 fucking hours long, and I was like, holy shit fucking Christ, are you kidding me? Who the hell is going to sit there and watch a 9-hour long fucking video about gaming news and shit like that? That's insane. Absolutely insane. But I skipped through. Thankfully they were kind enough to put it in the description, skip to 1 hour and 37 minutes if you want to watch the portion with Derek Smart. And so I was able to do that, and there are some interesting things there to be able to discuss with you guys. And something that they discussed, and also something I'm going to be discussing here, is the recent hullabaloo and dust storm raised from Beer4thebeerGod's recent ban from the forums, and also a side note thing about Accelerate submitting a second FOIA discovery request, and also we're going to be going through my personal thoughts on everything and all that shit mixed in between, of course, because my opinion is, to me, my opinion's the only one that fucking matters, and you guys are welcome to provide new information and change my mind, and sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. You're more than welcome to chat down below. So So yesterday, January the 8th, Derek Smart went on an interview with the Open House. Now, these guys, they ended up chatting on there for their discussion with Derek Smart lasted over an hour and a half, and it covered everything from they covered everything from, when he started raising dust up in June, and all the way up till current, and they discussed the Beer for the Beer God ban and all that different stuff, and there was a lot of good stuff in there. I was sitting there, I was eating Cheetos, and that was probably bad because, I've been trying to be healthy because I started working out again, and I'm still eating crap, and I'm still, not eating properly, which I'm going to have to start doing. But I was just munching away. It was tasty shit, guys. It really was. Don't take my word for it. Derek Smart actually did go off on a tirade with in regards to Sandy Gardner, and I'm actually going to cut to that, and so you guys can listen to that now. Now, I know what a lot of you are going to say, but bear with me, because if you are a fan of Derek Smart, you're going to be cheering. If you are very anti-Derek Smart, then you're going to find it hilarious. So either way, either side gets something out of this, guys, and I fucking loved it. I loved it purely from the execution of it. It was a well-delivered diatribe-style speech, and it was a lot of fun to watch and listen to. So, but without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and just cut to that right now.
My problem with this project lies with the people who are running it. There are 16 companies. Let me give you a quick synopsis of this, where this absolute anger comes from. This is a crowd-funded project which wanted $2 million. They got 6. Then Chris is going on the record as saying he could make the game for 6. Then it was 30. Then he was saying if funding stopped today, he would never need to fund the game again. He would never need money. All those things have come and gone. We're $105 million in the steal mode game. There's nothing but a glorified tech demo, which for all intents and purposes could be a CryEngine mod. That's what we have. We have 3 execs. One who's a has-been, that would be Chris Roberts, who has forgotten how the industry moves, who simply cannot relate with the talented engineers he's hired because he cannot speak to them or relate to them on the same level that they are after him being gone for so long. That's the first problem. The second problem is we have the second exec, Sandy, who for many, many years, nobody realized they were married. When I broke the news, everybody told me it was false. People were cussing me online saying it was false, I was making shit up, blah, 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 until I forced them to admit it in writing. They did. This woman has no qualifications, no college degree, no business training, no marketing training. This woman has absolutely nothing. And I'm saying this again. I put it in writing. I'm saying it for the record. Sandy, you are an untalented, no degree having hack.
Wow. Burn.
Okay.
God damn!
Okay. Hang on, let me finish. This woman has she has no respect for the people who do her job on a daily basis. She has no respect for the people who made it possible for her to be driving around in an $80,000 vehicle, living in a house of that size and scope, or who make it possible for her to have nice things. This is the woman who she and Chris were flat broke. We know this to be a fact. They were flat broke before Star Citizen. Yet, after all these hardworking people, whether it's the low-level CS person, or the volunteer mod, or the high-effort engineers, talented guys like Tony and the guys, these are the people who make it possible for this woman to drive nice cars, live in a nice house, have nice help, have a cook, have those kids in good schools, and be able to rub shoulders with Hollywood.
Do me a favor.
Let me fucking finish. And hang on. And have the ability to rub shoulders with Hollywood talent who normally wouldn't pick up the fucking phone if she called. This is the woman who has no respect for these people who work every single day, who put in 16, 18 fucking hours on this game so they can spend 100 million plus of public money while gallivanting around acting like it's all okay. This is the woman who goes on the record and says that she is more talented and trained than anybody at this company. A company that has over 300,000 people, of which, by the way, over 68%, we checked, of those people have degrees, something she does not have. These are people who, over half of them at every studio has a game to their name. These are people who have a history in the industry which she does not have. She has no respect for these people. She has no business managing these people. She has no business being part of this project. She's only part of this project because of Chris Roberts, who is, again, in my opinion, a very talented guy who has lost his way. That's why I'm angry. It has nothing to do with how they spend foolish and stupid people's money. It's about the lack of respect, the lies, the deceit, and how they've managed this project, knowing fully well they have no chance of delivering on promises. None. But they still keep taking money. Finally, what angers me is the audacity that they had, whereby they dangled a carrot stick in the form of a TOS that says, if we don't deliver this within 1 year of our promised date, we will A, give you refunds if you ask, B, we will give you an accounting of how we spent your money. These people surreptitiously quietly modified the terms of service. People foolishly, because nobody reads the fine print, people foolishly clicked OK on the February 2015 terms of service, agreeing to extend that period of financial accountability from 12 months to 18 months. Then, guess what? 1 month after that original 1 year expired, which would be December 2015, the next thing you know, they take the stance that this piece of shit 2.0 we've now released prematurely to meet Derek Smart's deadline because, oh, he may just sue us. So now what we've released is a quote-unquote substantial portion of the game. Guess why they did that? 2 reasons. One, they had to show something for the holiday stream because they're low on funds, they need the money. 2, they had to find a way of justifying A, not giving refunds, B, not showing financial accountability, because if they change that terms of service again come March 2016, they're fucked. So now they will not change it again. It's sitting at 18 months, and they're never, ever going to give financial accountability. And finally, and I promise this is the last part, finally, they know anybody who sues them for this has to go through arbitration. That was another clause they put in the TOS that a group of people agreed to. That means no class action, thanks to our government. So anybody who wants to take legal action over this farce, when it collapses, as I expect it will collapse, is the federal government or a group of gamers who can pull together as one entity and sue them for whatever reason. That's the only way this ever goes to court. Or they sue me, or they escape as somebody, which I'm hoping they should have done by now, and we're off to the races. But they wouldn't do that. Because the bottom line is, whatever lawsuit comes from this will go back to one simple thing. Where the fuck is the money?
Shit. That was a lot. It looks like Sandy's. I think Derek Smart's fucking pissed off button is Sandy Gardner. So that's a lot of fun to listen to. And there are a few things to point out though that I'm going to have to publicly declare here. Derek I disagree with you on this. I think, as far as head of marketing and everything like that, I think Sandy's a fucking genius. Are you kidding me? I mean, look at what she's done. I mean, the entire marketing scheme for Star Citizen was her baby. All the ship selling and shit like that was her fucking idea. Granted, I don't like it, and I think it's shady as shit, but you can't deny the effectiveness of it. I mean, it's raised over $100 million for a crowd-funded game. No other game has come anywhere close, and that was all because of her marketing scheme that she devised. Not only that, because of how the marketing scheme is employed, it has created this investor relation to where they're defending the game as if they are the developers themselves, which you can't buy that kind of consumer protection for a company. It just can't be done. And all of that from her fucking marketing scheme that she came up with. So saying she's bad at her job, dude, she did her job fucking perfectly. She did exactly what she was supposed to do. She sold people on a bunch of digital shit that because you're not going to be able to keep this shit for the rest of your lives, guys. You're not. Star Citizen is not going to be around until the day you die. This isn't a model that you can put on your shelf and admire in your later years. No, eventually this game will lose relevance and will go away. Most games like this don't even have a 10-year lifespan. World of Warcraft is a fucking exception, a huge exception to that rule. Star Citizen may be another, but expecting more than 15 or 20 years out of it is ridiculous. And when it goes away, all these purchases that you made, they go away too. That's why a lot of people don't invest that kind of money. Plus, the way they marketed this shit, guys, okay, is fucking genius, because it's a space sim, which is going to appeal to the nostalgia of people in their late 20s through their 30s and into their 40s. Those were the gamers where the space sim genre was extremely relevant. And we've got a lot more fucking money to throw around than a 19-year-old. That's why this game has had such successful funding that it has. Because we've got more money to throw at something. Most gamers that are relevant for that style of genre, the vast majority of us aren't rolling coins for gas broke, So we've got money to be able to throw at a game, and that's why the game's been able to raise so much money. Because this is the first time where a game has basically been directly marketed to somebody in my fucking age bracket. If this was marketed to the standard gaming bracket, which is, the 12 to 24-year-olds, good fucking luck getting that kind of money out of those people. Right? So, no, they played their cards exactly right, and they've done everything exactly right for themselves to be able to raise the amount of funding that they have, to be able to raise the type of consumer protection of what they're doing, despite anything else, because holy fuck, the backers for this game, the fans of the game, these people are the most die-hard, fucking insular, protective group community that I have ever seen out of any fucking video game, period. It's just hands down ridiculous, the sheer lengths that people will go to protect this game. And, I have to say, this is going to piss off a lot of people that are fans of the game, but I completely, and I've stated this before, I completely 100 fucking % disagree with that standpoint and that mentality. It's very much anti-consumer, and you're giving your rights as a consumer to the company that's making the product. You're just handing it to them. So here you go. Here, it's yours. Do whatever you want. You can do no wrong. You can do no wrong. Please take more of my money for whatever, for this other in-game item. Take more of my money like I'm a Farmville addict. That's kind of what it seems like and what it looks like a lot of the time, guys. And I know I'm going to be insulting a lot of you by this, but please try and understand where I'm coming from. As someone who tries to protect you guys from fucking companies and corporations trying to take more of your money than they fucking deserve. that's me trying to do what I do here. And everything that I see with all these people throwing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars at this game, and it creates this. And I'm going to try, actually, Total Biscuit did several discussions about this, and he could, if I can find a clip of him talking about this, I'll try and include it here, because I know he can talk about it a lot more eloquently than I can. If so, then I'll just cut myself here and include it. If not, I'll be trying to discuss it with on my own self. What it does when when a person is throwing this much money at a game, it's creating a very much a false sense of ownership. Okay, to where when you're investing money in the game, that provides an emotional vested interest as well, to the point where, especially with people that are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on a video game, makes them very protective, because they don't want that, subconsciously, and some people even consciously, they do not want that expenditure to be in vain. They don't want it to be a waste. They don't want to know that they threw money down a fucking dark pit and will never get anything from it. So, try and fight against all hope to make sure that the thing they backed is successful, because if it's not, then they've lost so much. And so they will vehemently protect their investment. And as such, it's making a lot of people act and react emotionally, because I was seeing it a lot. I've seen it all over the place. I've seen it in comments on my own videos. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it on the RSA forums. I've seen it in the hour and a half long interview I watched here on the open house, where a lot of people are just attacking the person. And how many hundreds and thousands of times do I have to fucking say it? Guys, if you have a problem with someone or something they're saying or something you're doing, you don't attack the person, you attack the idea. Okay? Attack the idea. Because attacking the person does no fucking good. None whatsoever. Take the idea, take what they're arguing, and battle it with reason. Because if it's a fallacious argument to begin with, then reason will just pick it to shreds in no time flat. Trust me, it works really well. Do that, and the person will, especially with someone like Derek Smart, if you're attempting to combat Derek Smart, attacking his person or attacking his character is going to do no fucking good whatsoever. Why? Because he doesn't give a flying fuck about you. He really doesn't. And he never will. Okay? The only way to combat someone like that is to attack their ideas, and I'm still seeing everyone attacking the man, not the idea. Okay? Combat his arguments with reasoned, well-sounding, well-thought-out arguments of your own. And if there's proof to back up your arguments and he's not providing any proof for his arguments, then guess what? He looks like the fucking idiot, and you look like a goddamn hero. Okay? But, saying, oh, he's a tool, he's an asshole, whatever, that's not really doing anything. That's just venting frustration, which does nobody any good whatsoever. Okay, but moving on from that, holy fuck, that was an interesting interview, and I had a lot of fun listening to it. There's, like I said, I completely disagree with his hatred for Sandy and saying that she's not good at what she does, because, the proof is in the pudding, guys. She is good at what she does. Right there, 105 million. She's good at what she does. She's good at what she does. She's created a very insular community that protects their investment to an extreme manner that I have never seen in any other video game. And they have raised the most amount in crowdfunding ever, by far. If that's not being good at your job, I don't know what the fuck is. I really don't. Okay, so to move on, I'm just going to move on from the Derek Smart stuff. Now, on to the Beer for the Beer God recent ban. Beer for the Beer God was banned recently for what turned out to be the accusations made that it turns out to be he was banned from the RSI forums for something he posted on Twitter. Why? Firstly, why the fuck would they care? Well, actually, I know why they care. I'll explain why they cared, why this was an issue for them. Because Beer4thebeerGod released posted to Twitter with a AES hash algorithm that basically stated the name of a yet to be released ship. I believe it was the Vanguard or some shit like that. Honestly, can't remember. I didn't bother going to unkey to dekey the hash. Because I'm busy, dude. Yeah, I don't have the time for that. I don't care. I'll wait for someone else to fucking dehash it, and then I'll find out. I don't have to know right now. But apparently they claimed that was corporate espionage and put a 10-year ban on him from the forums. And they're in open arms and a lot of shit because there was also a claim stating that someone who posted child pornography got a 7-day ban. Now, that right there, out of all the arguments and everything else that was said, that right there stuck with me the absolute most. But before anyone starts getting defensive, let me be clear about a few things. Defensive either way. Now, one, I work in IT. I know for a fact that if you come across child pornography, you are required, at least I am required, if I come across a computer where child pornography or indications of child pornography are found, I am required by law to report that immediately to the FBI. No gray area there whatsoever. If I don't, then I am as guilty as the person with the child porn. Because they do not take that shit lightly, nor should they. Okay, and a 7-day ban for child pornography was pending further investigation because they wanted to check out to see if it was child porn, it's perfectly understandable, because if it turned out that they wanted to investigate to make sure to see if it was child porn or not, and if it wasn't child porn, then a 7-day slap on the wrist would be appropriate. If it is child porn, they want to make sure to verify that it's child porn and be able to report that shit to the FBI so the person with the child porn can get fucking caught, because that shit is bad and it's not something you fuck with. So that right there, I know they're using it as, well, what the fuck, a person searching child porn, 7-day ban, but I get 10 years, fuck you, that's bullshit. But I can understand, because as a company, as a human being with fucking any form of morals whatsoever, you're going to want that person to be fucking caught. And in order to do so, you can't do anything that would necessarily completely scare them away. So a 7-day ban basically made sure this person wasn't going to be spamming out anything while they investigated and collected info. Made sure they got all their fucking ducks in a row, so they hunt down any other posts from this person to see if there's anything to it actually being child porn, so they could bundle all that shit up and send it off to the fucking feds, so the feds can go get this asshole. Turns out that it wasn't child pornography, but they're doing what they did in that instance. I'm not going to disagree with them on. I'm really not. I'm just not. And that's me saying it as a parent. I would rather see a public posting about some minor slap on the wrist in order to ensure that someone doing something like this was fucking caught than just banhammer them and be done with it and let them get away with it. I'm much more comfortable with them approaching that in that fashion. I have no problem with that. But, the Beer for the Beer God recent ban because of the activity on Twitter, if the paste bin shit can be believed, because they keep saying they have the headers and everything. It's like, dude, you want people to be able to believe you? Let me see the fucking headers. Okay? First off, let me see the headers. If I can see the headers, then I can believe that it's fucking valid. I work in IT. I can read the fucking header information. No problem. I do it all the fucking time. It's part of my job to be able to decipher that shit. And it's not, once you get, it's not even that hard to do. I mean, you could Google how to read header information and figure it out, and after you practice a couple of times, you're able to know what you're looking for. And, you know what? Give me the fucking header info. There's proof this shit is legit. Then that shows that Cloud Imperium did something kind of shitty. But at the same time, it's not the end of the fucking world, dude. You're one guy. You know? And they didn't ban you from the game or anything like that. They claimed what you did was corporate espionage, which, you know, I'm sorry, releasing the name of a ship that's going to be coming out. How the fuck is that corporate espionage? I mean, it's protected. Yes, it might be protected information, but these people are backers of the fucking game. Essentially, CIG, these guys are your publishers. Everyone that's a backer of this game is your fucking publisher. Okay? That's something that no one seems to be getting, or no one seems to be understanding, or no one even gives a fuck about. Excuse me, my throat is getting a little dry. Ooh, tasty. So, you know, that's not corporate espionage. You know, it's not a company fucking secret. Vanguard, with all the list of fucking ships out there, is Vanguard really a stretch? Would anyone care? No, most people just want to buy another fucking ship, and they are sitting there chomping at the bit waiting for the January release of further content. Because that's what everybody's doing. They're waiting for more content. But in the end, you know, yes, if we can see the headers and prove that this pastebin stuff is fucking legit, then fine. They did something shitty that, you know, they should be berated for. I have no problem with that. Because banning someone in a gaming forum for something they do outside of the game forum is kind of shitty. It is. There's no real qualms about that. Of course, you know, finding privileged information and then posting it online is kind of shitty too. And, you know, Beer for the Beer God, everyone's kind of glancing over the fact that you've also had, you know, and looking through all that shit, you've had 3 previous temporary bans. You know? So you do have somewhat of you were starting to establish a pattern of behavior. And yeah, it wasn't the you know, the 5 warnings type thing. But, you know, it's one of those things where, yeah, they did something shitty. But so did you. Okay. If it's not yet released information, if it's privileged, and you learn about it, and you go and post it without their permission, that's kind of shitty. I'm sorry. It is. And, I also want to glance over, people wanted me to bring this up. Accelerate, in late December, submitted a new FOIA discovery request. And he just posted the results. I'll put the page up here so everyone can see it. Basically, he submitted a FOIA request for any documentation regarding Cloud Imperium games again, and of course it came back with nothing. So whatever, you know. So a lot of this stuff is beating a dead horse at this point. Guys, this is the part where I tell you how I feel about everything. You know, I've already expressed a lot of feelings here, and I know I've been talking for quite a while, but bear with me for just a few minutes more. My thoughts on things is, you know, back in back in June and July and August, it was all really interesting. There was a lot of stuff coming out, you know, information and people talking were flying everywhere, and it was hard for some people to be able to pick through and be able to figure out what was real and what was bullshit. And so, you know, I helped out with that as best I could with my Smart vs. Roberts videos, and I got a lot of positive feedback from people saying, hey, you know, good job, really appreciate that. But then it started devolving, really started devolving that, and I started getting more people that just were hating on Derek Smart, and people calling me a mouthpiece for Derek Smart, and a bunch of shit like that. And it's devolved to the point where basically everyone's just tired. Okay, I know I'm tired of talking to you guys about all this shit. You know, granted, it's January isn't exactly the busiest fucking month for video games, so at least I have something to talk about for a short while. But, you know, I'm tired of rehashing a lot of this stuff. And I know a lot of other people are tired about it as well. And also, I understand that, you know, one thing that will drive people insane the most is hearing the same thing over and over and over again. It's hard. And it gets on your nerves. And it's basically at the point now where realistically everything that needs to be said has been said. Okay, now if Derek Smart wants to continue collecting information and stuff because he's planning on Star Citizen to fail, and that way he can just do this massive fucking data dump to help pin people's asses to the wall, if it does fail, then that he's more than welcome to, you know. That's fine. That's fine. But constantly hounding on something is basically it's gone past expecting it to fail, and it's starting to get into that realm. It's getting into that realm where you're actively trying to get it to fail. And I don't want Star Citizen to fail. I really don't. From what I've played of it, I've enjoyed it. Granted, it is starting to get a little dull and repetitive, and needs some more content to be able to freshen it up again for, you know, for February, until February gets here for the next data dump. But, you know, we need something. We need some more content. We need some fresher stuff, because, you know, not everyone are those mega purchasers who have, you know, 10, 15, 20 or more fucking ships that they've been able to spend thousands of dollars on. Me, I spent $120 for Squadron 42 and Star Citizen because I felt that was fair. Of course, I'm doing it for reporting purposes for you guys. You know, I don't really have much interest in playing the games until they're out. And notice I am calling them the games now. They need to be treated as separate entities because that's what they've become. You know, and that's just how that is. But a lot of this stuff it will be interesting to revisit and use as ammo if the game fails. Because if this game fails, it won't be just a failure for all of the backers and all the people that have worked so hard for the past 3 years of the game. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. Oh, bleh. No, I'm going to save that for another video. Ha 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 ha. Stay tuned. I need to do some more research on it otherwise, because if I misspeak in this, you guys are going to fucking roast me alive. So I need to put some more time and thought and effort into it before I go starting with that. So to continue on, you know, it's all been said, it's all been heard. Is basically what I've said the past 10 times over the past 5 minutes or so, and I'm just going to keep repeating myself at this point. So I think it's about time to call it in. So to sum up, Sandy Gardner, may not like her, but she's pretty fucking effective at what she set out to do. Derek Smart, it was a really interesting diatribe. It really was. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Whether it's relevant or not is regardless. It was a fun rant to listen to. Holy shit. And, you know, the open house, guys, you probably have more fun if people could actually see you. Okay? I know you might be ugly like me and not want to show your noggin, but sometimes it helps. That's my 2 cents. Beer for the Beer God, they did something shitty, but you did something shitty too. Accelerate, yeah, nice going, but I think you even admit that was kind of pointless. And really, that's about it. So thanks for listening, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or angry comments, questions, thoughts, or concerns, put them in the comments down below. I do typically read those. Remember to be respectful to all parties involved, as always. And if you have an argument or something that you don't like, then please try to reason things out as intelligently as possible. And so that way we can, you know, kind of have a discussion about it, or maybe I'll be a YouTube dick and I'll collect all the comments and do a video on that. Anyways, once again, I have been the guy with a face made for radio, SidAlpha, and I will see you next time. Hey folks, SidAlpha here. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you want to check out some other First Impressions videos, feel free to click on the link on the left. If you're interested in staying more up to date with what's happening in the PC gaming community, feel free to click on the link to your right. The subscribe button is down at the bottom. Please show your support and punch that evil thing as hard as you can. And once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.